Hey folks. It has been a very rough week here. Some stuff happened that does not make me happy. But some good things have happened too, including this extremely cute piglet. He's been here all along. I got my apple trees emptied. The dogs have been working real hard to keep the bear away. I can hear, like at night, them moving around to the different corners of the property and barking, and so far a bear has not come in. Nothing has been damaged by a bear, so that's good. We get to have different problems every year, I guess. Let's see, what else has happened? The pigs got a delicious delivery of cake from the grocery store. They had some cakes that had gone bad, and so my friend knows the grocery store person and brought me over a box of cake, and the pigs really liked their cake, as you can imagine. They liked their cake so much that when I fed them the hot dog buns that were also in the box, they kind of turned up their nose. The hot dog buns. The roosters think something is going on. It is definitely starting to get cool enough that it's not quite cool enough to start butchering pigs yet, but we're getting close. My canning is done. Almost. Canned most of the apples. The ones I didn't feed to the pigs are the geese. And I'm almost out of canning jars. So instead of buying more canning jars and going out and finding more things to can, I'll need to eat some things, find some lids, and then when I do the butchering, I want to do chili, some pork chili. So I have ready-made meals, because one thing I notice is that when I'm out here doing all this farm stuff, I'll often go in and have like ramen or a can of Chef Boyardee because I don't have the time and energy to make a proper meal. Sometimes I do. Sometimes it's super inspiring, but sometimes I don't. So if I make some sort of ready-to-eat meals, that will make me a lot happier. We've had a bunch of frosts. I had to, at one point, scrape frost off the windshield in order to drive. I managed to get this pop-up shelter for the wood. Have not yet fully anchored it, and I need to, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm making some wood stabilizers out of pallets because you can't just pile round things up, they roll flat. So I need to make stabilizers like I have in the carport here that hold wood. But first I need to flatten the ground under them. So it's, it's an ongoing project. One of the things that it's come to my attention that I need is a better gate with an airlock or a dog lock so that I can have this area here basically an area that I can drive into, close the gate behind me, and then open the gate in front of me. Mostly I will be just parking inside that area so that the geese can't eat my car. They like to let the air out of the tires. But I do need that area done, and I need to raise my fences a little bit before winter so that there's no way the dogs can get out. As part of my trying to get things sort of with a manageable amount of work for me, I dug up 4 5-gallon buckets of potatoes, and then I'm leaving this open. So the geese have been in here, the piglets have been in here. I honestly think there are probably still a lot of potatoes because I dug this section and this section, but I did not dig that section or that section in the far back. So at some point I'm kind of thinking of coming in here with the fork and seeing what else is under there. But for now, between the pigs and the geese, they've done a pretty good job of leveling it out. And then I need to tuck my asparagus in there before winter, and maybe some of my huskat berries as well. So that has definitely happened. The frost is kind of amazingly not harming very much because it was such a cool year. The only things that grew were fairly hardy things already. So my squash is gone. Squash. You can see the leaves are all black there. It's being frosted. If you come down here, you can see the leaves are all black. They've been frosted. The squash are probably fine to eat, actually. I have some raspberries coming out, though. My dill, most of the things that survived here are fine because just nothing that needed heat really grew. So nothing that was sensitive to frost was really there to be damaged. So there's that, which is, I guess, good. That with the red leaves is an apple tree, which I should really move. I'm starting to get into real thoughts about moving or taking down this tree and taking down these. I know I've talked about it before, but I hadn't realized until actually quite recently. When I moved in 3 years ago, they were a lot shorter. They've grown a lot, and the more I water my garden, the more they grow. So I don't know if you can tell. These ones are just not as thick or as tall. These ones here are super tall and thick because they've been getting all of the water and food from the garden. Their roots go like right out into the middle there. So I do need to take those down and take down all these suckers here. But again, there's just so much to do before fall. Get the wood in. This is not all the wood that I need. This is 2/3 of the wood that I need. Get the winter pig pen made. I probably have a month before I want to move them into the winter pig pen. But it does need to happen. And I need to get a fence post in the ground before the ground freezes. I hear you, pigs. Yeah, I mean, really not that much more than that. Pick up everything on the ground so I can run the snowblower along here and it won't die. I've been unscrewing the hoses at night because if the hose freezes with the tap on it, or while it's on the tap, it can bust the tap. Come to think of it, since the frost, I haven't even looked in the pepper greenhouse. Let's see what's in here. Oh, there's some peppers. They were just not doing anything at all this spring. And now, I guess we've had 2 weeks of warmer, sunnier weather. We haven't really had any warm. There seem to be some peppers in there. Should pull those out. I've noticed some ravens coming around. Not crows, but ravens, which means that when I do my butchering, I should leave out some crow food. Get the crows to come back and chase the ravens away so the ravens don't eat my piglets. working on plans to scale down the pigs a little bit. It's just too much for me. And trying to figure out what that means for breeding. What lines stay, what lines go, that sort of thing. I really, really like my boar baby. And I have the choice. I could keep baby and the original pigs that I got, Penny, Rapunzel, Sparky, and Knox. Or I could keep babies, so like Apricot and Black Chunk, who really does need a new name, and Friendly, and keep Oak, who is the unrelated boar. But like those are kind of the two groups. I think I will keep Penny in any case because I like her. And it will not hurt her to be bred to Oak. But it's it's turning into fall here. All these wintering decisions need to be made. I need to get my hay and straw. I was feeling a little bit rough last week, like not well. So I'm currently self-isolating until I have the results of a COVID test, which means that like right now is when all the hay and straw is available, but I can't go get it right now. I need to wait until I get a result back from that test. So that's a little bit complicated, but everything is a little bit complicated sometimes. The Muscovies are molting. As you can see, they look completely terrible. Very tattered and threadbare and patchy. And that's because their old feathers are falling out and their new feathers are coming in. This spot here, when I replaced the tap, I was hoping this spot would dry up. Because what's happened is it was a tiny little puddle that kept getting filled from this tap. Like this tap leaked, and so water would leak down into the puddle. And the more it gets, because it's clay soil, the more it gets walked on, the less water can go through it. So the more it turns into like this impenetrable water container. And you can see that the animals go into it, and when they try and get out of it, they claw at the edges and they make it bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's now this like huge hole. And I had hoped partway through this process, oh man, he's molting. Look at him. Look at him. Those terrible feathers. Oh, you're going to look so much better soon, honey. Anyhow, I thought that when I wasn't filling it with water from the leaky tap anymore, the things would be fine. But instead what happens is that all the water runs down my roof. As you can see, it's quite a big roof. And there's no gutter or anything because of the way the house is shaped. And so all of the water just runs right into there. And it's been raining a lot. So part of my fencing idea is that I will go from this corner here over to that corner there, fence that off. And once that's fenced off, the animals won't be able to come up here as often. I'll let them up, the geese up to mow the grass. We'll see how that goes. It means that I might be able to plant a bit of a garden here or something. Right now it's a bit of a wasteland. Granted, it does stay frozen until like June, July because it's on the north side of the house. But we'll see. Something will be done. Meanwhile, I'm super happy with how the pecans have settled in. They're quite domesticated animals. You can see they're like very large and meaty, and they're white, and they have broad faces. They're just so different from a wild duck. And usually when something is very domesticated like that, it has fewer instincts and less ability to take care of itself. But these guys have been excellent foragers. I'm just so pleased with them. So pleased. I'm pleased with you guys. They eat all sorts of things. But I would not expect ducks to eat like grass and weeds and stuff. Just they do a good job. And he's a very good drake. He keeps his girls together and shows them where there's food and wanders along with them. So quite pleased with that. These ducks are mostly cayugas, which is a black meat duck. And they're, again, excellent foragers, very independent. Very, very pretty in the right light. All the black turns into jewel tones. But they're so noisy. And they're kind of ridiculous. I don't know. I'm thinking about seeing if they want a new home, even though they lay these. The beginning of the year, their eggs were like a dark gray black, which is so cool. So cool. I don't know. They were like chasing the pecans and the piglets around yesterday. I definitely feel like they own the place. 2 drakes. The one with the like very white throat is a drake. You can see on his butt there's one feather that comes up in a curl. And this guy here, that's mostly all black, also has that feather that curls up in the back. That's how you can tell they're males, they're drakes. Much easier than geese, where the answer is that you just pretty much can't tell. I thought I heard my cat. Hey, dogs. Well, time to get to work. Good to remember to enjoy being here. Oh, I did forget. I cut back the side of the greenhouse here. So I harvested the last rhubarb and made rhubarb applesauce. And cut down the sweet Sicily. And so that's cleared out. It's not fully cleared, but it's pretty clear. Everyone ate everything. I just dumped it over the fence, except the rhubarb, leaves, which are poisonous. Have some more herbs to dry, maybe parsley. The cabbage and beets, I'm just like letting them hang out until I decide where I'm going to put them. But otherwise, almost time to let the animals into the garden to clear everything up for me. Eat all these bugs. There's so many slugs this year because of all the rain. Okay, really do have to go in now. But you all have a good afternoon. And I will be back next week or so.